Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I'm excited today, as always, because we got a couple of projects on the horizon, but today is going to be a huge harvesting day, and so I thought I would take you along with me. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I'm in Tennessee in Zone 7B, and what you just saw me doing was watering in the onions. So on a previous video, we had started putting the onions outside. We planted onions in the back of our house in raised beds, but this was a major project to get onions in the ground for the first time. I had never done it, and I'm pleased to say that all the onions are in there. Over 400 onions here and about 100 onions in the back of my house, and I still have onions left over. So in the last video that we did talking about the onions, we got like a row and a half done today. Today my son and I came out and we got the other 2.5 rows done in about 30 minutes. So it did not take long, but we were moving. We were moving. So I'm glad to know that all the onions are in there. And then also it's supposed to rain tomorrow, which is going to be great. You know, as a gardener, you love to plant things right before it rains, right? And so, but just in case it doesn't, they're watered in, they're all safe and tucked in, and I'm excited about the onions for the 2024 season. Now we're going to go into the tunnel and we're going to do something, another new thing, another new thing that I haven't done before. So I'm excited to tell you what it is. So let's go in the tunnel and let me show you what new thing we're going to do today before we harvest. I'm filling up this grow bag. I'm just going to do it this way. I already have some in here, so I'm going to top this grow bag off and show you what we're about to plant. Okay, so I'm excited because today I'm going to plant my first blueberry tree. Bush. So you guys know I'm all about the vegetables and the herbs. Fruits, I am clueless, but I have hope because I was clueless about vegetables, and now I know a little something about growing vegetables. So I've never done fruit before. I am literally clueless, but I told you guys that I wanted to start learning how to do fruits. We do have fruit trees and stuff on our property that I've never showed you because we don't do anything with them. We don't know what we're doing, and the deer always come and eat the stuff. That'll be a whole nother video, but I really do want an orchard and fruit and all that because I think that's necessary. So I'm going to start with blueberries. I heard that blueberries are pretty easy, and originally I think I had talked to you guys about in the fall about ordering some blueberries and putting them in the ground, but I've decided to do container for a couple of reasons. One, I don't know what I'm doing. Number two, I feel like a container would be easier than doing it in the ground. And I've done a little bit of research. I know that blueberries love acid. So I did buy a soil acidifier for the soil. And I was in doing research, I heard that the container can work out a little bit better because you can control the soil versus putting it in the ground. Obviously you can oil some soil acidifier, but you may not be able to get the pH level that you want. So I do know just from research that they like acidic soil, not alkaline soil. So I'm going to attempt to try it. And I figure a container or a grow bag is a great first step, and we'll see what happens. So let me show you what I bought and we'll go from there. So I picked up my blueberries from Tractor Supply, and I also picked this up, some soil acidifier that says it's for blueberries and hydrangeas. So it says to do 1 1/4 cup. So this is like an experiment and something new that I've never done. So I'm gonna add a 1 1/4 cup into my soil and mix that in. Can't see me. So I'm gonna add that in, and then we're gonna put our blueberry in. And you know, one of the things I got when I first started gardening was like a soil pH kit. I don't even know if I still have that anymore, where you can test the pH of your soil. I gotta see if I can find that, because that way we'll be able to test it, I guess, after. I don't know how long it takes to lower the pH, but I guess we can test it and see. Yeah, I guess we can see. So let's get the blueberry and I'll show you what kind I got. So I just picked up one from Tractor Supply. Again, this is something new. I've never done it, so I wasn't going to invest a whole lot of money because this is an experiment. We'll see what happens. And then you guys, if you've grown blueberries, especially in containers, if I'm doing something wrong, put it down in the comments. Give me some tips, because maybe by the time you see this video, I can correct anything that I might have made a mistake on. But this is the kind I got, blueberry, and it's a Patriot variety. It says it is self-pollinating, because I did look that up. And it sounds like from the research that I've done that I won't have blueberries this year, which is, hey, waiting. It sounds like I won't have blueberries until next year. But if I don't start, then I'll never have blueberries. So we're going to go ahead and get it in here and see what happens. So it comes like this. And again, I say I'm clueless because I've never even seen one before. So let's just see. Oh, it's like it's, oh, do I just put this part? I guess I just put this part in there. It's like in soil. Maybe that was to keep it, I don't know, keep it the way it was supposed to be. I don't know. And there's really no instructions. So I'm assuming I just stick this in here. Is that what I do? Okay, dig a hole. There's some instructions. Dig a hole large enough to encompass the roots without bending or circling. Set the plant in place so the crown, the part of the plant where the root meets the stem, is 1 or 2 inches below the surface. So I guess that's it. Just like that. Easy enough. What am I supposed to do with this? I'm gonna just put this in here. This is like some mulch or something. I don't know. It was in the plant, so it can't hurt it, right? Yep. Okay. Is that it, y'all? Okay, so I called myself buying 2 in case it wasn't self-pollinating. And I thought I was getting a different variety. I bought these on 2 different days. And I ended up buying the same variety. So I have 2 Patriots. And so I'm like, do I have another grow bag? I may have another. If I have another grow bag, maybe I'll just plant the other one. And I guess I'm going to keep it in the greenhouse. It says it likes sun. So they'll definitely get a lot of sun in here. But I also, in watching some videos, it said that birds like to eat the blueberries. So maybe if I put it in the greenhouse, it'll be a little bit more protected. I don't know. We'll see. Y'all, it was $8.99. So this is a $9 experiment. If I get, I don't know, 4 or 5 cups of blueberries, I'm to the good, right? I'm to the good. So I don't know if I have another grow bag. I think I do. Or did I give them away? Or should I go and exchange this Patriot for another variety? It said that it's self-pollinating, but it said it could be useful for higher yields to plant another variety that's different than the one you have. So maybe that's what we'll do. If I have my receipt, maybe I'll go back and exchange that one, get a different kind, and then we'll have 2. And that way we can see the difference between the 2 different kinds of blueberries. Does that sound like a good idea? I guess so. That's what we're doing. So this is one of the things that I wanted to talk about. 2 things. One, in doing research, when I was looking up, how to care, or, how to do the blueberries or whatever, I'm always looking for videos that, again, when it's something I don't know how to do, I want like the beginner version, walk me through step by step. Like that's how I learn and that's how I do. And it reminded me of why I started my YouTube channel. The reason why I started my YouTube channel was because I was very frustrated in learning how to garden. And I don't know, I'm sure I've told this story before. It's probably been a long time since I've told the story. So the reason why I started my YouTube channel was because when I first started gardening back in April 2020, I got advice from a lot of people that garden. But the advice was like step number 10 and I was on step number 1. And so it was very frustrating for me because they assumed that I knew more than what I said. When I said I had never put my hands in dirt, I literally had never put my hands in dirt. Number 1, I grew up in the projects. Number 2, after that, I was in the city. I had never been in the country. I had never had a garden, never been exposed to a garden. I remember my grandmother having some level of some little small garden. Again, she was in the projects too. So we had, I don't know, she had like some little, I don't know if you could call it a raised bed. It was something, some kind of box in the ground. And I remember she would go out there, but I never went out there with her, and it was one little box. So if you want to call that, but again, I never did anything with it. I was a very, very little girl when I would go by her house. And I never went out there. So when I started gardening, I was looking for a beginner person to walk me through step by step. Something as simple as, okay, find the location you're going to do, you know, just from a beginner standpoint. And everybody I turned onto YouTube at that time would be explaining something, but, you know, let's just say they were planting carrots. There was a lot of information that was an assumption, right? And so that's why I started my YouTube channel, because I wanted to provide a place where if you landed on my channel and you are a beginner, and I hope and pray that I've done this in a good way. I try to explain as much as I can. I try to be responsive to questions. I try to give answers and try to make it as simple and as clear as possible and not assume, right? There's plenty of people that watch my channel that are experts, right? That are not beginners, right? And so for them, maybe sometimes I'm over explaining, I don't know. But the reason why I started my channel was that if you landed on my channel and you were a beginner, you would feel safe. You would feel motivated, you would feel encouraged, and you would feel inspired that, you know what, if she can do it, I can do it too, right? That's why I started my channel, because at that time I could not find a place where I could just turn on and get the beginner stuff. I'm not saying it's not out there, I just couldn't find it. So that's why I started my channel. And it reminded me when I was going back to look for these blueberries, research on blueberries, I was looking at thumbnails, looking at titles, and I needed a beginner. And I found this video, and she literally walked it through step by step. And it just reminded me, and I appreciate that. Everybody's in different stages of their gardening journey, and I'm not for everybody, right? But whoever I am for, I pray that what I teach and what I show on my channel, you can relate to, right? And you can do what I do and have great success. Not because of me, but just because I'm just sharing with you my journey and what I've learned, okay? So on the blueberries, I'll take any and all advice that you guys want to give me. But it's good to try some new stuff. That was the second thing I want to talk about. It's good to try new stuff. It's good to do things that you haven't done before, right? Because even though I'm nervous about this, at the end of the day, it was a $9 investment. Times two, $18 investment. So a pretty small investment. I already had the grow bag. I got the soil. And let's just see what happens. So when you take something new, or when you take a risk, so to speak, do it in a controlled way. So instead of me buying 10 blueberry trees and trying to put them in the ground and do all this manual labor and work, let me just start with 1 or 2 in a grow bag with some soil. What's the message? The message is this. I encourage you to try something new. Don't get stuck in a rut in your garden where you do the same thing the exact same way every single time. Do something new. Do it in a controlled way. Low cost, but experiment. Have fun, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to get our harvest on. So we got plenty of things that need to be harvested. Kale, spinach, collards. And y'all, my collards, they acting like they want to bolt. But the devil is a lie. It's too early to bolt. And I've been harvesting because I sold like a whole bunch last week, 2 weeks ago. So I'm not sure. It's been warm, but it hadn't been that warm. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure why they're looking like they're trying to bolt, but we're going to get as many as we can. And again, somebody was supposed to come out here and get some collard greens and pick today. Hadn't heard from them. That's how people do. I'm coming. Okay, you missed your opportunity, because once I pick these and I clean them, they're mine. They're mine. They're going in my freezer. And I'm sure I'll get one more harvest, I would think, before it's time for them to come out, is the plan. But if I don't, I'm going to go ahead and get some now. Go ahead and stock the freezer so that we are good. Because we've been eating a whole lot, and I think I'm down to maybe 2 bags of kale, 1 bag of spinach in my freezer. All the collards are gone. So we're going to stock up and see what we get. Y'all, I started with the kale. This is from 1, 2, 3 plants. Already got a basket full. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants to go. in the ground, and I got a whole bed over here. I'm definitely not going to do it all because, you know, as soon as I cut it and harvest it, I got to do something with it, right? And I'm thinking about my schedule over the next 24 hours. So I'm definitely not going to do it all. I'm going to do some. Plus, I want to keep a lot of fresh kale for eating. This right here is a whole bunch. So I'm going to keep going, and let's see. Yeah, I'm going to keep doing some more kale. It might be 2 days later by the time I'm coming back to this video. I can't even remember what happened, but I didn't get a chance to finish harvesting. So we're going to try to finish harvesting today. But I wanted to show you. So we did the kale. The kale's been good. I actually had a kale salad today for lunch. So it's really, really good. And then we put some up in the freezer. We still have more kale, but we're going to move on to the collards. And I want to show you how they're bolting, which this usually happens. But usually it's happening like in April. And not early March. But again, it hasn't been that hot, but these have been in the ground since September in terms of starting from seed. So again, I don't know why they're bolting. They're just going through their next cycle of life, but it just started bolting like maybe 3 or 4 days ago. So it should be at the point where it's not bitter yet. But we're going to go ahead and grab as many as we can before we lose the collards. But let me turn you around and show you what it looks like. You can see that there. So it hasn't flowered yet, but you can see that it's definitely getting ready to right here. So you can see, again, it is trying to bolt. We're going to just snap that little part off and see if we can slow it down and go ahead and pick as many as we can. Okay, guys, we are 2 baskets in this size. 2 baskets in. I get, while I'm showing this basket, I get a lot of compliments on this basket. People love this basket, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. You can go to my Amazon shop, and I'm pretty sure it's on there. If it's not on there, let me know, and I'll send you a link. But I'm pretty sure it's in the Amazon shop. But this basket, this will be my 3rd year. And I think I got 4 of these, and I probably could use a couple more. I may just order myself some more. But I like the fact that they have the feet on them. You know, you can do it like that, and it can stand, and they can also stack on top of each other. But it's very sturdy. It's great for harvesting. And everywhere I go, people's like, oh, where'd you get that basket? It's very, very nice and durable. But we're on a 2nd basket of this size of collard greens. And let me turn the camera around and show you. I feel like I have barely made a dent. So if you look down to the far, you can kind of see that that's smaller, but then all of this here is still yet to be done. So that's probably, if I had to guess, another 2 baskets full. I'm going to see if I can, I think I got another basket down here, or hopefully it's not up at the house. I'm going to see if I can get another basket done. I don't have the best energy today, and so I feel like I'm not moving as fast as I normally would, but you know, it's like that sometimes. I have to have outpatient surgery on next week. By the time you see this video, we may already be in the week. So of course, you know, before you have surgery, you have like a list of things that you're trying to get done. It's something minor on my foot that I got to get done. And the doctor says I should be good after 10 days. I pray and hope that I'm definitely good after 10 days. And that I'm even good before then. But whenever you see this video, more than likely when you see it, it'll be close to the time of surgery, or maybe I've already had it. I don't know. Whatever you do, just pray, right? I'm trying to get as much done just in case if I'm out of pocket. Of course, I'm not trying to be out of pocket, but just in case I am. I'm trying to get content done. I'm trying to get my list of things done. There's never a good time to be out of commission for 10 days, but this was the best time that I could do it, and hopefully it's going to alleviate some pain. So anyway, let me find another basket and see if we can keep going. basket number 3. And that was 3 plants. I still have at least 10 to 12 plants to go, but I'm out of baskets. I think I have one more in my house, at least this kind. I got other baskets, but they're smaller. So that definitely tells me I need to get some more of those. I'm out of breath, y'all. I'm tired. My energy is waning today. It's not top tier. It's not top tier. But it's like that sometimes. But one of the things I wanted to show you is just how healthy and good these greens look. I want you to look at that. And look at the back. One of the things I was noticing is how clean these greens are. 2 years ago, when I was doing harvesting my greens, I had a lot of, there weren't slugs, but like little, not roly-polies, but a lot of like gray looking bugs on the back of my leaves and white stuff and all of that. And I think that the fact that they're so clean, I think is a testament of my soil. I have been working really hard on fertilization and putting good things in my soil, because your plants, your food that you're harvesting, that you're eating, is only as good as the soil and the nutrients in the soil. Now, again, I always say, this is going to be my 4th year. I bring that up because as you learn, you continue to do more. You continue to try new things. You continue to invest, and you continue to learn what is good and what isn't, right? So the first year, I've said this story before. My first year garden, I did not fertilize whatsoever. Second year, didn't fertilize. It wasn't until like my second year, maybe I fertilized. I don't like when I first put the stuff like in the ground, but I wasn't like doing a weekly regimen or anything like that. The last year, if you follow me, you know, pretty much I was on a weekly fertilization schedule, especially in the summer. There may have been a week or two here that I missed, but definitely every week, if not every 2 weeks, I was fertilizing. It makes a huge difference because, one, I can see how my harvest has grown over the years. I can also see the health of my plants that have grown over the years. And I've done videos before about the things that I use in my garden. And just like I love buying trays and pots, your girl will buy an organic fertilizer in a minute. If I see a new product, I'm like, oh, let me try that, right? You know, as long as it's organic and not pesticides and stuff like that, I will at least try it. And again, I may try it in a very controlled environment or just watch it and see. But these greens literally are so clean. Like they're just clean. They look healthy. This is one of the smaller ones, but I mean, I've shown you my greens before, like the size of my face. But y'all, they just look good. Look at that. It just looks good. Who doesn't want to eat this? I mean, you can't get fresher than that. This is why I love growing my own food. Like literally, if I wanted to, I could go in, fire up the stove, and cook me some collard greens and have fresh collard greens. I'm not doing that today. I'm going to wash these and cut them up and put them in the freezer for later. But I have 3 baskets full, and I know for a fact, as I'm looking, I could at least get 2 more baskets easily. I might even get 3. So once I bag this up in 1-gallon bags, if I had to guess, I should probably have at least 4 to 5 1-gallon bags that I can put in my freezer, and then I'll get the rest of these, and so that'll go in the freezer. And so we'll have collard greens, you know, when collard greens are not in season. So, you know, about June, July, if I want some collard greens and cornbread, I can just go to my freezer and get it. And I think I'm gonna see if they grow back, which I'm sure they will. It is the beginning of March. They will be in here until at least the end of April. So they got another 6 weeks. If they want to do some more stuff, they can do it. And I'll get them one more time before it's time to pull them out. But if for some reason they don't produce anything else, I will be to the good for the most part with collard greens in my freezer. So y'all, I got 3 things of collard greens. I'm going to stop here for today, because I don't feel like going up to get another basket or find another basket. And, you know, once you pick it, you got to do something with it. So I'm going to go in the house, rinse these off, clean them, sit them in cold water, chop them up, and put them in my freezer for later use. And then I'll come out here in the next day or so and get the rest of them. That's how we're going to do that. So that'll save me with having to do 6 baskets. I can just do 3 tonight, and then maybe tomorrow my energy will be a little bit better. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today as we did some harvesting and all of that good stuff. Remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.